Okay, I assume everybody else is the same as well. The primary agreement. Hien is ready to proceed with the prisoner exchange. While we were putting our contingency plans in place, I left Hakuro in charge of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. He will see they arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they await us on the riverbank not far from the castrum. Actually, he was... As a former soldier of the Empire, I have been chosen to oversee the handover of our Imperial prisoners. Whilst I am so occupied, I must ask that you provide steadfast support for Lord Hien. Will do. The Glittering Basin. I'm going to assume that this is a faster route than teleporting to Namai. It may actually be about the same distance. I look forward to getting to the Tsukiyomi fight, though. It's been a long time since I've done that. Like normal mode and synced. I know it wasn't that long ago I, grinded it unsynced for the mount. No matter what Asahi throws at us, we cannot let that monster have his way. Would that we had some hint as to the ambassador's intentions. Had we not prepared for the worst, I should be wary of going through with this at all. You did not prepare for the worst, because I don't think you thought at all that his intentions were to summon a primal. My only concern is the safe return of our people. This is what my lord wishes, and that is what shall be done. The tower rather spoils the view across the river, does it not? I concede we might perhaps have chosen a less ominous place to conduct the exchange. Do not worry about the ship. It will be where it needs to be, and with Tansui at the helm. Your party is assembled, then? Aye, and ready for what lies ahead, I trust. Lest there be any confusion, though, the tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange. That and whatever else Asahi has planned. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home. Yugiri, you are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover their escape and lend what support we can. Your ship awaits you at the castrum's loading docks. She will see you safely home. Then all stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it. So my guess is this is going to be the cutscene that leads into Tsukiyomi.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
It's weird he's even keeping up that pretense.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion. Welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Nairi, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish!
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning.
They've done a lot of the, like, I don't know what you call it, vessel summonings since he sailed. That's been a pretty common occurrence now.
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run?
What will you say? Leave this to me? Well, of course. A strategic withdrawal. No, leave this to me. You have no hope against her anyway.
Against such a foe, I would be more hindrance than help. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
Yeah, I thought her job was to ensure their safety anyway. She should have run off when...
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I am become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorman. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
It's nice of her to patiently wait there for me to get a group together.
Oh, it's going to be a long
Yeah, I don't remember taint busters and all that stuff, so... Let us share the torment, shall we?
Your end is near.
Okay, what does that do? enough of that. I wouldn't want the pain to grow familiar. Oh, okay, it's just... Just a DPS mechanic. That's one of the things I'm not crazy... One of the things... Why does it fade away? That's one of the things why sometimes I'm just not into tanking. Ah, I understand. It feeds on my spite, on my suffering. It's just tanks usually have to deal with less mechanics, which can make fights boring. Come forth, shades of the dead. Curse my name, strike my body, fill my soul with the blackest malice. Okay, this is just a lot of dialogue. Worthless excuse for a daughter. You're nothing but trouble. A font of misery, that's what you are. Yes, my dearest parents, I was the bane of your existence until the very end. Fight like your life depends on it, dear sister. You wouldn't want to disappoint me. If it isn't a cold-blooded worm, always crawling through my rotten heart. Your pitiful fortunes can bring you no lower. You have come to deliver judgment for my failures? Cut me down then, surely it is a simple task. Stay behind me, Suyu. Why? You have no place here. You must survive, Suyu. The kami spared us. We cannot repay that boon in depth. Perhaps, but it's too late for me. There can be no redemption. A night bloom shall flower here upon the site of my demise. Absolutely gorgeous arena.
The spider. I shall prevail!
Yeah, other tanks knew. I'm sure he doesn't know about the mechanics here. People standing with the tank. Okay, I'm gonna pull her. I think people are just used to fighting her like in extreme. Well,
I shall prevail.
Because they keep standing in front of her, which is not something you do in extreme, but usually she's tanked. you know, towards the edge of the arena.
Your end is near.
Far from over. My bloodied hands have much left to accomplish.
Grind you under my feet!
There we go. Woo! God, it's such a gorgeous arena. No, cutscene. Good cutscene. Sad cutscene, but good cutscene. To just stand there.
You really must learn to finish the job. 'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down. My, such hostility! These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer. Will you surrender to anger then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
Bridge was never even real to begin with.
Oh, but I'm forgetting. They're already ash. This doorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point.
There's Fandaniel.
It should have been mine. The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Doma. I would have repaid his faith.
No one alive loves him more than I!
Instead, this harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
God. Thank you, finally.
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance. These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied. You should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength, just for you.
As terrible of a person as she was, this still kind of made for a beautiful revenge story, is the best way I can describe it.
What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead.
What will you say? Gosetsu will mourn you. Suyu deserved a kinder fate. I'm going to go with the Gosetsu will mourn you. I mean, because Suyu was somebody that doesn't exist anymore, you know?
He will mourn to you, perhaps. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
I think it's interesting, too, that essentially what this kind of tells, too, is the story that without all of those terrible people around her, like, Suyu is potentially what she would have been. I mean, for what little we know of Suyu, and she was basically like a child, but...
Lord Xenos. Lord Xenos.
This is recent, too.
I am at your disposal.
Asai, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary, and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma, and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
The icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent. I will not fail you, my lord.
Well, at least we now have evidence that Xenos is alive.
My master, Lord Xenos, he will come for you.
You have prevailed, I see.
She is gone. Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Because it was never a thing.
Lord Hien!
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now, but our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here, but it seemed to me there was more to the tale.
What will you say? I saw a vision of Asahi's past. Xenos was behind this plot. Yeah, I'll just go straight to it.
I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
How can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an impostor has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd. But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second-in-command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
At least Maxima.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
At least Maxima is sensible.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
What?
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk her life on countless occasions. Next to her, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield. But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
Man, I forgot all about this. This is interesting. This is your moment. I don't know, that just seems not quite right. I believe in you, Alphino.
'Tis not for me to stop you. But I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
Is Maxima the one that travels around with Gaius now? Well, I'll find out soon enough. Gosetsu dragged himself here from his sickbed, only to be greeted by the sight of Yatsuyu's corpse. I had not the words to comfort him. Yeah, I was thinking that's probably the saddest thing, you know, is just Gosetsu and just his own feelings and what he's dealing with. Ha, Alphino, you impulsive fool. I thought about trying to talk him out of it, but I know what I would say if the roles were reversed. Stubbornness is something of a family trait. Yeah, actually it is. I knew Asahi was planning some manner of treachery, but a summoning? Thank the kami you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Tsukiyomi's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, aye, but she still had a choice, and she chose to submit to the ambassador's plan. 'Tis little wonder Gosetsu departed in silence. Okay, yeah. I gather he felt the same way he came, or he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibune before the battle began in earnest. But the vessel yet waits on the riverbank for those who did not flee in time. Then I suggest we put this doleful place behind us and make for the Enclave together. 'Twould be a shame to miss the joyous reunion.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
It's nice that they thought to also include the Confederate guy with his father. And then it's just over.
Ah, there you are.
Gosetsu, your hair.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
Oh, don't leave us, Gosetsu. I'm gonna go with safe travels. I mean, you can't stop Gosetsu anyway.
A fulsome farewell makes for an enjoyable journey.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Doma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before.
I really hope we get to see him again in Endwalker.
And with that, I take my leave.
Such a great character. Oh, here's the... Thank the Kami you spotted that cracked plank. That ship ended up bringing my father home. And the captain said, well, let's just say I'm not a pirate anymore. I'm going to live in Doma with my father. We're free. It will be far too quiet without Gosetsu around. I wonder if we'll ever see him again. Oh, speaking of reunions, have you spoken with Ihanashi? Hanashi? It turns out his father was among the returning conscripts. Gosetsu relinquished his duties with a grace befitting a samurai lord. I only hope that I can fill the void which he has left behind. Ah, Gosetsu. Fair journey to you, my friend. A bittersweet occasion, but there is yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray join us in the Kayanken. I would thank you properly. With all of that out of the way, Doma should be able to look forward to a period of relative calm. As for us, well, we have an intriguing story to tell everyone back at the Rising Stones. Lord Hien trained under Gotsetsu from the day he was old enough to hold a sword. Though he smiled through all the farewells, none will feel his absence more keenly. Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is that much closer to being realized. It is a day that will live long in memory, and one that would never have dawned without the courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you our deepest thanks. Lest you think we complacent, I assure you, I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. That Xenos lives is a source of grave concern, mayhap the gravest. Yet there is little to be done but wait for Alphino to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Gosetsu. By building a nation in which none need live in fear. I confess, I miss him already, but the thought that he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed Yotsuyu such kindness? I believe the answer lies in past tragedy, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts, and in Yotsuyu's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but the little girl who was lost to him. After the loss of his family, Gosetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardship, strove beyond the limits of endurance without hesitation or complaint. Though Suyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that with her at his side, he might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. Would that the kami had been so minded. Even now I labor to discern any meaning in Yotsuyu's fate, to deliver her from certain death, with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother. Can that truly have been their will? That I cannot tell you. The will of the kami is not for us to know. But what I do know is that for a brief moment, a girl named Suyu lived among us, and that she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. It's a beautiful story. It's sad. I feel bad for that moment of Suyu, and I feel bad for Gosetsu, and just it's just a beautiful story. I mean, tragic, horribly, horribly tragic, but beautiful at the same time, the poetry in it, you know? Thank you all for watching this video. Tonight's stream was spectacular. We actually went a little bit longer than normal just to finish off 4.3 because the story is just so good. I remembered liking the Yatsuyu story, but I think I liked it even more now, just picking up on more details that I either forgot or just didn't pick up on the last time, but just so good, so good. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to join me live, then the link to my Twitch is down below. Thank you again for watching. Have a great one.